Hello everyone, it's Michelle, and yes, my room is a bit of a mess at the moment. It's a Sunday, and yeah, I'm going to be clearing up once I've done this video because, over the week where I'm doing videos and doing some of my own artwork, it kind of piles up, especially, where are we? Over there, over my shoulder. And then come Sunday, it's kind of time for me to um, tidy everything up and put a few things away. Uh, but yeah, when I'm in the middle of things, sometimes it's easier to just throw them over my shoulder, so to speak. But today, I'm going to go through my, would I call it my best, my favorite? I think I'll probably call it my most used art materials for 2025. So these aren't necessarily going to be big shockers, but they're the things that I've been using consistently. And because of that, um, you know, it means that I'm liking them, they're doing their job, and yeah, so that's where it's coming from. My most used art materials. And yes, as usual, the hair is a complete and utter mess. It's just my artist's mad hair, let's call it that, shall we? Right, let's get into it then, and I will change my screen view to down on my desk, and I'm going to start with these Potentate sketchbooks that are concertina sketchbooks. So those of you that have been watching will have seen that I've done a little Robin concertina sketchbook, and I do my little poem and end papers on one side, and then we've got our little robins going across the sketchbook on the other side. And I did the same with boxes, basically. So I've got my boxes going across the spread on one side, and then on the other I've got my end papers and my little poem that I did. But I've also been using one of these sketchbooks. Let me find. Yeah, I've also been using one of these sketchbooks when I'm out and about. This is the one that I'm using at the moment, which hasn't got a lot in it, but that's just to show you that I use it as like a out and about on plein air set. And this is what they look like when you buy them. And they're, if you get them from Temu, however you want to pronounce it, they're under a fiver. They're something like £3 each, or £2 something each. So you can stock up on them, and they're really fun to use. So that is a favorite, and I've used them out and about as well. So the Potentate concertina sketchbooks. When it comes to bigger sketchbooks going out and about, then my favorite are these SMLT art sketchbooks. And I just really love the paper in these. They really are. Yes, some don't come out as well. This is a sketchbook, but yeah, these are acid free. I think they're 100% cotton, 280 GSM. But anything I'm showing you, I'll leave the link below. But these are just a great size. You know, if I put my two hands on them, they're bigger than an A5, but they're not as big as an A4. And they're quite skinny. How many pages? 12. 12 pages. Obviously, you can use the other side as well. So they're not very big. They're quite flat to take out with you when you're going out and about. So if you want something bigger than the Potentate, then I think, and also the Potentate is skinny as well. This is why I'm liking them, I think, because they are so slim and they don't bulk out my bag. So I don't have to take a separate bag with my art things in. I can fit it in a normal kind of tote bag, I suppose. So that would be my next pick, and I think this is about my third sketchbook. So and I've ordered more. So yeah, these are a definite favourite. I've ordered more because they were on offer with Amazon on Black Friday. So yeah, that's my next pick. Still sticking with you know, surfaces to work on. The other thing that I've had great fun with this year are these postcards. And these again are Potentate, and they're 100% cotton. They're like a 6x4 size. These ones are cold pressed in the little yellow tin, and I have a feeling what is in this green tin. I don't think I've... Oh, they are 100% as well. They're 300 GSM. These got more texture than the yellow ones. It just... wrong way. Let me just try and check. So I think one is cold pressed and the yellow tin is more rough. So it's got more of a texture than the green tin. But yeah, I've used many of these, and also if you don't break the tin like I think I just have, then you know, you've got tins to keep completed little pieces of work in if you wanted to. But I've used these a lot. I did a lot of little 6x4 paintings, put them in little frames, you know, in order to sell them. So these little Potentate postcards are another surface that I think, you know, is worth having. Moving on, going into something a bit bigger. And where is it? Here it is. So I've loved using this Lightwish. It's a watercolor block, so it's all glued on four sides, and it comes with this bit on the front to protect. Plus it came with one of these little handy tools, and you can see it says open, and you can pop that in and remove the sheet that you've just painted. I think this is really nice. It's 100% cotton. It's cold pressed, acid free. You get 20 sheets. It's 10.6 inches by 7.7 inches. And so it's quite a nice size when you want to do something a little bit bigger in the studio and you don't really want to keep taping paper down. So yeah, this is another favorite from for this year. Now, as a bit of a splurge, where is it? Here we go. And I have used this to do much bigger paintings. I'll put it that way because you might be able to read it. But this is Saunders Waterford, and it's 640 GSM. So it's £300. So it's, you know, roughly double the weight of paper that, you know, most of us use. Most of us will use 300 GSM. So this is double the weight. You don't need to stick it down. It holds the water beautifully. It's got a lovely texture. I got these from Jackson's. They're 15 inches by 11 inches, and they're actually called what are they called? A quarter imperial sheet. So an imperial sheet has been cut into 4, and these are the 4 sheets. So I probably wouldn't go much bigger than this size painting, to be honest. Maybe later on, who knows, but for the minute this is probably the biggest that I would do. So it's round about A3 size, I think. But it's the most beautiful paper. You don't have to stick it down. It just, yeah, you can do whatever you want on this paper. It's absolutely brilliant. It's a bit more costly, but when you're doing a painting that you know is going to go in a frame, it's, you know, it's special, then this paper is just wonderful. I love it. So when it comes to paper and sketchbooks, those are my picks. So moving on, I've got a couple of things, if I can find them. There's one. Okay, found it at last. Bleed proof white. Yeah, I think this would be a favourite every year and forever. It's something that I can't do without. I've always got a couple of spares. This one is virtually empty, as you can see, but I'm still using it. So instead of using white acrylic or titanium white, I feel that bleed proof white gives the best results. It's properly opaque and it's a lovely bright white. So that's going to be on my most used favourite list. And then when it comes to golds, there are lots of gold paints out there. There's the Coliro ones. They are really lovely. But if I really want something that is going to look truly like gold and be very metallic, then this Aqua Bronze by Schmincke. This is the rich gold colour. It's a powder, and you mix it with water. I've got a little pot here, and I think you can see. I mean, it really is truly just like molten gold. Yeah, if I'm in the studio, then this is probably going to be one of the ones that I use. And if I could only have one thing that gave me gold on my paintings, it would be this. So those are my next 2 picks. Let's just pop them back. And then, no surprises here, Michael Harding paint. Now, I do love Daniel Smith, but here in the UK, Michael Harding are more affordable, and I suppose it's being a little bit patriotic as well. But I think that the pigments, the way that the paints work, are Michael Harding and Daniel Smith are on a par in my mind. They're equally brilliant, and I just love using these Michael Harding paints. Now, there are a couple, the Turner's Yellow and the Cobalt Blue Deep. Yeah, travel wise, they don't travel as well. They can run. They don't seem to harden off as much as the other paints. So you know, it's just about thinking about which colours you might take if you're squeezing tubes into half pans for a little travel palette, for example. You just need to think about it a little bit. But in the studio here, you will have seen on many of my videos, this is my main palette. It's the one that is my favourite for 2025. So, and I've just recently done a video sharing my top 10 colours, which I did in a kind of an abstract way. My top 10 colours for Michael Harding paints. Right, what have we got next? Well, let's think about pencils, because I use a real mixture, and I really cannot let's grab one of them. Let's grab, where are we? One of them. And let's grab one of them. So I would say my most favourite, most used coloured pencils are the Caran d'Ache Luminance, the Derwent Lightfast, and the Derwent Drawing. Particularly, this isn't it, but the Chinese White. Chinese White. There we go. So these coloured pencils are the ones that I reach for time and time again. I have others. I think I've got Holbein. I've got Faber-Castell's Polychromos, and probably others as well. But the ones that I think are best out of all of them, and that this is all just personal preference, obviously, are the Derwent Lightfast, the Caran d'Ache Luminance, and the Derwent Drawing pencils. So those are my pick. Moving on, when it comes to pens, there are two pens that I consistently use rather than fine liners. I don't use fine liners that much. So most used, sticking to my most used theme, is this platinum carbon fountain pen. And you buy the ink, you buy the cartridges, and they are the black carbon ink that is waterproof and light fast. And yeah, I just love using one of these. And then to ring the changes, and because you can get different line strengths, I like using my Sailor Fude pen. It's the bigger degree, 45 degree angle nib. You can get some really thick lines as well as very thin ones. And I've got a converter in mine. Looks like that needs filling up. And in it I also use the same ink that comes in the cartridges for this. It's this carbon ink, black ink, and it is waterproof and light fast as well. So yes, that's my pick when it comes to pens. Let's move on to my most used brushes. So most used brushes. So I have a set of, where is it? Where's the other one with the, can we find it? Is that it? Yes. So this is a set of Escoda Perla brushes. They're the Joseph, gosh, I'm going to murder the surname, Zbukvik, maybe something like that, set. It's a size 12, a size 8, and the size 10 is actually a travel brush. So that's a brilliant set. These, although that one doesn't look it so much, but these I love because they go to a really good point. Now that can be really useful, so you can use a much bigger brush to still do some very detailed work, but sometimes actually you want something with a rounder head to it, and in those instances I will turn to, now where are they, that set, and where is the bigger one? So I'm having to hunt for these because they're in various different pots all over the place. Where's the big size 12? Nope. Well, actually there is one there, but not the one I was looking for. And I probably should have got these ready beforehand, shouldn't I? But let's not worry too much about it right now. No, that's not it either. Well, when I want brushes that are slightly rounder, although, you know, these can go to a bit of a point, then I use the Van Gogh brushes. I've got a size 12, 8 and a 4. They come in a set. And also I will, if I want something that's probably even rounder, and somewhere I've got a size 12, but these are both a 6. There should be a 2 somewhere. There you are. There's my 2, size 2, little round. But you can see these don't go to so much of a point. So they're really good to do some kind of petal work with. As I said, I've got a bigger one somewhere. Just can't find it at the minute. And this one, which is really handy. This little angle shader, and to do some kind of straight lines with. So those I think would be my recommendations and are my most used brushes. And the Escoda, the Van Gogh and the Princeton Snap. Those would be my choices of brushes. The only other one that I use constantly is this tiny little one, which is Shimoni Art, and it's a Fibonacci mini quill, and it's the 0.1, and you'd have found me using this quite a lot. It is one of my most used paintbrushes, so I flip between all of those mostly. Now the only other thing, well, actually there's a couple more things. White and gold gel pens. You probably don't really need me to get them out, but let's get them out anyway. White and gold gel pens are so useful. These are the Uniball Signo gel pens. Does it say what size they are? No, but they come in a set. Or you can buy them separately, and I use an awful lot of those. So keeping things to more of a minimum, if you like, those are what I use the most. And then finally, I think the book that I enjoyed the most this year, I'm going to give a shout out to Katie Moody. I love her work. Also, she's another UK girl. So, but yeah, her work is really pretty, really stunning. And her book, Sketchbook Joy, I did do a review on this, is a really lovely book. And, you know, you've got some nice inspirational things, you know, at the back, ideas, you know, resources, things like that, prompt list, that kind of thing. And I just think it's a really lovely book. So that's my pick of books for 2025. Katie Moody, Sketchbook Joy. So there we are. I'm going to leave it at that. My most used / favourite art materials, keeping it to a pretty much a minimum with choices in there. And yeah, that's, if I only had those things, I would be a happy girl. Obviously, I have heaps of other things. But if I could only have some things, that's what I would have. I guess I haven't picked my favourite travel watercolour set, have I? Right, hold on. Let's grab that. Right. So I thought I'd finished, but I haven't. This little bag I just keep a couple of Tom's Studio pens in, a watercolour brush. Well, actually, I think is there more than one watercolour brush? Getting hooked up here. Yeah, a couple of watercolour brushes. And yes, this, I think I would have to say, is probably my most used travel watercolour set. And yes, it's looking rather messy. It doesn't come with this piece of Perspex. I put that there because quite often paints can be quite wet, and you haven't got time to let them dry when you're out and about. But this is the Art Toolkit Folio palette. It comes with the little pouch here, and if I put a couple of water brushes in, I've got a couple of Tom's Studio pens. One's got a 0.5 0.5 nib on it. The other one has got a brush pen, so that I've got a bit of a choice. And yeah, that would be my most minimalist, together with my sketchbook or my concertina sketchbook. I could manage with that, and do something while I'm out and about. So yeah, the art toolkit would be my favourite takeout travel set. So there we go. That is everything, and I will put links to everything below. Let me know if any of those are yours, or whether you would choose, you know, an alternative. Let's get a conversation going down below. Thanks for joining me and supporting me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, take care, everybody.